How's it going, Goomy Gang? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing awesome. When we got the update for Season 3 Reloaded, there was a couple shotguns that did change, and the other one I wanted to talk about, which I've been getting questions about, is the Lockwood 680, because we all know about the Marine SP. Such a good shotgun now. It's so much fun to use. If you haven't used it, what are you doing? But the Lockwood 680, that's another great alternative, but it's not as good as the patch notes may let up to be. So I kind of wanted to talk about it, what changed, and share with you guys my class setup that I've been using for it that you'll see in the video, and just kind of my overall thoughts on the gun. So let's just go ahead and hop into what exactly changed. Now, if we take a look at the patch notes to see what changed, you'll see they basically just buffed up its max damage range and also its second damage range, which is nice to see, but unfortunately, these numbers just don't line up. They don't really make sense. So that's all I can really share with you guys, is that they looked like they attempted to buff its ranges, and they did, but they're not quite what they are here, and the damages don't match up either. So kind of take what you see here and just kind of throw it out the window, because we're not going to really talk about it other than the fact that they gave it some attention, which is good to see. This is where the bad things start to kind of come into play. For one, there's just this huge damage drop off after that 2-shot mark. It basically drops down to a 4-shot, and that's when you're aiming down sights or hip firing. Basically, you deal 90 damage in total, so you basically take 4 shots to kill at that mark, which just really isn't good. And when you compare things to like the Marine SP right now, it's kind of crazy how the difference is. And granted, this one does shoot a lot faster than the Marine SP, but still, I don't think a pump action should do that little damage at like 8-10 meters. I just don't think it should be doing that. It should still be doing at least a 3-shot kill, like 120 damage, not 90. That's just kind of really bad. Another thing I want to point out that's really important is it seems like that whole damage mechanic where there's 5 pellets worth of damage aiming down sights and only 4 while hip firing doesn't really affect this gun. For whatever reason, if you're aiming down sights, it's 4 pellets worth of damage. If you're hip firing, it's 4 pellets worth of damage. It's really unfortunate because looking at the numbers you saw in the patch notes, if you were taking into account 5 pellets worth of damage, this thing was going to be nasty. Like, it was going to be a really good shotgun, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. So what you see is kind of what you get. You're not getting any difference hip fire versus aim down sights, which I guess is kind of nice for consistency's sake, but to miss out on that extra pellet of damage really does play into effect and does kind of hurt this gun's performance a little bit. So that is unfortunate to see, and it's kind of weird to see now that this is one of the only shotguns that just stays at 4 pellets, so kind of weird there. Also, this has been something we've known about for a while, but this thing only shoots 6 pellets, so keep that in mind. Most shotguns traditionally shoot 8. The Marine SP shoots 8. A lot of the Brysons, well, basically both Brysons, shoot 8 pellets. Some other shotguns shoot 4, like the Riveter, and then with the ball ammo, it shoots 3, but for the most part, 8 is generally like the standard, the gold standard for shotguns. This thing shoots 6, so it's going to be a little bit more inconsistent than you might think, but as long as you're hitting center mass and hitting your shots well, you probably won't notice too much of a difference. It's only when you're kind of like scuffing a shot where it feels like you are really scuffing a shot. It's not like you just kind of missed, it just feels way off. And one other big issue I want to share with you guys before I share the class setup is just that the sprint to fire speed is pretty slow. That's a problem with the Black Ops 6 shotguns and the Modern Warfare 3 shotguns. Their sprint to fire speeds aren't super great unless you really kit it out for it. So that's my other gripe with this shotgun, but otherwise it's serviceable and it's pretty good. So now let's go ahead and talk about my class setup I've been using. The 2 non-negotiable attachments in my opinion are the Hammer Forged long barrel for better range and also the Express light bolt. This is really going to help your rate of fire. It's super good. That's one of the better parts about this shotgun, is that it shoots pretty fast for a pump action, so you get follow-ups very quick, so it's a little bit more forgiving than obviously something like the Marine SP. Then we have the sawed-off mod. This is for a little bit better mobility overall. There's another stock you can use to get a better sprint to fire speed, but we want a little bit of good movement as well, so that's why I chose this one. Then the Kimura Raw laser light and the Demo X40 tactical pump. These are going to help with your sprint to fire speed, so if you want to be like sort of a more aggressive player and really get up in people's faces, this is going to help with that, because having a slow sprint to fire speed on a shotgun just really sucks. I just hate it. So this is what I go for. If you feel okay, if you got used to the Marine SP and how it felt, maybe you can swap something out here to have a little bit better of a tack stance spread or something. That's kind of up to you, but this is what I felt the most comfortable with thus far. Overall, I'm happy this gun got some love. They finally gave one of these weird older Modern Warfare guns some love. That's cool to see, but there's still a lot of work to do, and even for this shotgun, it could still use some more love. It's basically just that last damage range. I just don't think it should be dealing 90. They should introduce another one where it deals like 120 or something. I know it shoots faster than the other shotguns, but still, I just don't think it should be that weak at that range. Maybe make it to where out to 10 meters it does like 120 or something like that. Just my opinion, but it does shoot fast. It's got decent handling and mobility, so this is honestly a great shotgun to use. It's definitely one of the better pump actions, of course, and you can't use Dragon's Breath on the Brysons, so they're kind of useless. but this is good to see. I think it's a huge step in the right direction. Now we just got to focus on other things like slugs, the handling and mobility of other shotguns, the damage for other shotguns. There's still a lot we can focus on, but like I said, this is a huge step in the right direction, so I'm happy with it. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something from this. As always, I want to know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on this shotgun? Do you think the buff was great? Do you think it's really a competitive shotgun now? Or do you think it still needs a little bit of love? And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.